If you were to look at your retirement account right now, would you be laughing or crying? Well, after this video, I'm sure that a lot of you guys will probably be crying, myself included. But the truth is, most people need way more money than what they expect that they would need to retire. How much do you think you would need to retire? 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, half a million, $1 million? Well, this video will show you exactly how much you need to retire in 3 simple steps. Stay tuned. So the whole basis of this video, for the 20 of you guys who actually watch my videos, which, thank you by the way, okay? 20 is a blessing, okay? Thank you. So the whole premise of this video is to help you guys understand how much money you need to retire, right? Because when you hit a certain amount of money, you can invest that money, and the interest from that money will keep you living for the rest of your life till you're 200 years old, if you live that long. But it can guarantee you a very sustainable income for the rest of your life. And that is what people call financial freedom. Because financial freedom is when you work because you want to and not because you have to. And you can only do that if the interest that you make from your money or your investments covers the expenses that you guys have. A recent survey from Go Banking Rates shows that 64% of Americans have less than $10,000 in retirement savings. Okay? And 45% have absolutely zero. Absolutely zero. So where are you compared to that? Right? Do you know how much money you need to retire? Well, if you don't, right, watch me for the next 5 minutes, right, and you'll see exactly how to calculate your own personal retirement account. Okay, step 1. You go to google.com and then you type in compound interest calculator. Then you click on the third one, which is the calculatorsite.com. I will have a link on it below. Click on that, and then it will lead you to this page. Step 2, you fill out your information. So for this example, my base amount is going to be 0. Right? Interest rate, I'm going to put 6% because I know I can get a 6% from the S&P 500 or some other places, but mainly index funds. They give around 6 or 7%. Actually, the S&P 500 has averaged 10%, but after you adjust for inflation, it's around 7%. So 6% is pretty safe. Calculation period. For me, since I'm 30 years old, I have roughly 30 years. Right? Make sure you put in your age and when you want to retire. Right? The longer it is, the more compound interest will work for you. For compound intervals, I am going to change the monthly to yearly. Okay. And regular deposit amount, currently I save around $1,000 a month. Actually a bit more than that, but let's just use that as an example to see how much interest you can be expecting a year in 30 years. So, step 3, you press calculate, and then it will produce you this graph. So, this chart shows you the years, in 30 years, how much you will deposit, your yearly interest, the total deposits, and then the total interest that you will get, and your total balance at the end of every year. Okay, so, when you go down here, you can see that your yearly interest, right, the money that you make every year, at the end of 30 years will be $55,000. Okay? And that is if you put $12,000 a year, the total amount will be $360,000, and your total interest that you will get is $619,000. That is more than 150% return on your money. That's just crazy, right? And then your total balance will be $979,000. So, if you are living off of $55,000 a year, you would need to save $1,000 per month for the next 30 years so that you can replace your income and just live off the interest. And still have $979,000. Okay, so let's say that you don't have 30 years, but you do want to put $1,000 in every month. So let's say that you have 20 years. In 20 years, you would have put in a total of $240,000. Your ending balance would be $455,000. And your interest every year would be $25,000. $25,476. That is less than half of what you would get in 30 years. And that is really the magic of compound interest. As you can see, in 20 years, okay, you would have $25,000 every year in interest rate. But if you just wait another 10 years, you would have more than double the amount. And you would only put in $120,000, but you would get an ending of over $500,000. Okay? It grows exponentially faster the longer you wait. So the point is, the earlier you start, the better it is that you are. So let's just look at 2 years before. If you hold it for 28 years, you would have put in $336,000, which is only $24,000 less than 30 years. Okay? But you would only have an interest rate of $47,730 every year, as opposed to $55,100. That's a difference of $8,000. But look, your total balance. The difference between your total balance is $130,000, $131,000. Yeah, look at that. For a difference of 2 years, you are giving up $131,000. You would have only needed to put in $24,000 extra. The difference between the amount that you put in and the amount that you get is 5 to 1. So I can't stress this enough, okay? Start early, start as soon as you can, because every year or every 2 years could cost you tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you have time, if you are in your 20s or 30s or even 40s, start early. Start early and then you can access the magic of compound interest. So, those are the numbers. Are you on track for when you want to retire? Also, make sure you factor in your 401ks, any investments, any property, or any sort of income that you might have, okay? Include Social Security if you are a baby boomer. But also remember that Social Security only covers around 50 to 75% of your current income. Right? Now, if you're a Gen Xer, it'll only be 50%, okay? And if you're a millennial, you'd probably be lucky to get 25% of your original income in terms of Social Security. Because all the news stations and all the articles I've read says that Social Security might not be around in the next 40 years. So, are you on track to retire at 65? Okay. Most people that I talk to, people who make $100,000 or people who make $50,000 or $200,000, they are not ready to retire at 65. Most of them have to work and continue working to pay off their house, their cars, their school loans, okay? Anything else. And they're not ready to retire. So make sure that you are ready to retire. I truly believe that it is not how much you make, it is how much you are able to save. So, those are the numbers. I mean, play around with them. Add in different numbers, different percentages, different years, different amounts of money that you put in. And then just really cry at the end where you see that you're not really where you want to be. But that is okay, because if you have a destination, then you can maybe get there, okay? But you can get close to it. There we go, okay? If you have a destination, you can get close to it. And that's what this video is about. Helping you understand where you're going, where you want to go, and hopefully you can get close to it. Alright? So, if you are depressed about your retirement funds and how much you are contributing, Don't worry about it, okay? 9 out of 10 people that you meet is in the same situation. So take comfort in the fact that everyone else is also screwed. Yeah, but oh well, life goes on. But now that you know how much you need to retire, hopefully you can get there. Hopefully you have enough years left in your life to really make a difference. Okay, really make a difference in your retirement fund and retire nicely. So, thank you for watching. Please like this video if you find it helpful. And until next time, stay cool.